Hi friends, thanks so much for stopping in. We're going to be doing some woodworking crafts today, and I would say these are about a medium level, I guess. Not really entry level. We'll do some entry level stuff, but not really entry level. So I picked up 2 of these dog-eared cedar posts from my local Lowe's. You can see my phone, my shadow. Sorry about that, but there's huge trees in my yard, so we'll have shadows basically everywhere. So I measured 13 inches down, and I'm measuring from the dog-eared side, and then I took the best of the 2 and I'm measuring 15 inches and marking that, and I only need 1 of those, so I need both the dog ears at 13 inches and the other at 15 inches. And I did not show me cutting it with my compound saw, but I will show some other ones, some other cuts on here. So anyhow, we're going to use my new battery powered brad nailer, and I did this close to the edge, and I'm just going to shoot a couple of nails in each side, and that forms my sides. So then I'm going to have to measure. I'm going to box it in. We're making a little toolbox, so I'm going to measure along those sides and get that measurement, and then cut 2 pieces of wood those measurements. And you can see here's my cut wood, and then I'm just going to straighten that up, because you kind of have to line those edges we'd already nailed in. You're going to have to kind of line those, and I did use some wood glue as well, so that way the brad nails are going to hold it, but the wood glue is going to guarantee you a permanent hold in there. So I put a good bead of wood glue down, and then line up those edges to come out even to the edge of the board on each side, and then I'm going to throw some brad nails all around so you can see me straightening it, because otherwise it's not going to be straight. So we're going to do that one side and flip it over, run another bead of my wood glue, and then I'm going to nail that down too. And I love this new brad nailer. Just because it's battery powered, it just makes it easier. If it's pretty days like this day was, I can do projects outside, but if it's not so pretty, then it's just easy to bring inside. I'm used to using one that uses the air compressor, and I've used it quite a bit, but this is just so much easier. So, and then when I get through with both sides, I am just going to sand them down real good. I don't want any rough edges. I kind of like to round my edges off a little more than the square, so I'm just going to sand everything down real good. And then I picked out a stain that I had left over. I did not go buy any new stain. And then we'll pick out a stain that I like, and of course I like to use my sock method for staining. Oh, I jumped ahead of myself a little bit. So we got to make a little top. So this is going to look kind of like an old toolbox is the look that I'm going for here. So I'm going to use a dowel rod, and it was just one that I had on hand. And I had already painted it white, so I'm going to have to strip that. I am going to strip that down with my little palm sander. So I'm going to make holes in it to put the dowel rod through, and I didn't care that it went all the way through, and so I just measured where a little bit would hang off the side so that when I carry it. So I'm gauging about the center of the little dog-eared piece, and I think I went down just a little over 2 inches. Like I say, find the center. And then you need a drill bit that's a little bit larger than the dowel rod. So I'm just going to drill those on each side, and then we're going to get to sanding. Now, my method of sanding is I like to use some of my husband's old socks. He claimed that it was not an old sock this time, but I like to use his old socks. I put a glove on my hand, and then I put a sock on my hand. And because I can get in all the little crevices with my hand a little bit better. So here I am with my little palm sander, and it is electric. So, bummer, but it's all right. But it's electric, so just sanding real good. And then you're gonna see me doing my staining. And stain is just a choice. Mine was a real light stain because I do like the look of the cedar wood, so didn't really cover the cedar. I know this looks funny, y'all, but I promise y'all this works better than a foam brush or a brush or brush on, wipe off with a paper towel, because I don't have to wipe excess stain with this. I just take the sock and it absorbs good into the sock, so I'm able to spread that stain a lot easier. So we're just going to get it all stained real good. And then once I have it all stained, I am going to use one of my farm stencils from Temu. So I really have been liking these stencils. A couple episodes back, I guess that's correct. Back, I did my first Temu haul, so I showed you what I got, and I've been loving these stencils. So, and I just I don't use the tacky stuff very much. I just kind of take Scotch tape and hold mine down. So once I get that centered, then I'm using black chalk paint, and I'm just gonna stencil this farmhouse stencil sign on here. Now you could go, if you're gonna use it outside, mine's outside, but it's on my porch, so it's not really getting the elements of the weather. But if you're gonna use it outside, I would put a good coat of some poly on it just to protect it, to keep everything nice and new looking and preserved. And I may go back eventually and put a coat on mine, but for right now, it's on my porch on my bench, and it does hold my gardening tools, some of them anyhow. So it just makes it easy to carry around in the yard, and it's adorable, so it's useful, plus it's a beautiful piece that you made. And here it is styled on my potting bench. See, I got my gloves up top, and I got some of my little tools in the bottom, and some seeds and what have you. I love it. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the video so far. Don't mind my craft room. I'm redoing stuff, so it looks pretty pitiful right now. But as you can see, I've got lots of stuff coming up for you guys. So I hope you've been enjoying it so far, and don't be afraid to use those power tools, and we'll do some more of these stuff to actually build some stuff, to make some stuff. I don't want to do just the Dollar Tree. I don't want to get stuck in that little rut. I want to build some stuff. But please like and subscribe, please, if you haven't already. Let's help me grow. I appreciate it so much. Enjoy the rest of the video. Don't stop watching, you guys. Bye. Now I'm going to use some more wood from the dog ear picket pieces, and I think I cut these about maybe 13 inches, maybe not that much, maybe 12-13 inches or so, and I cut 2 pieces. I'm going to just sand them real good. Again, they're kind of rough because they are meant for making fence, so anyhow. And then I'm going to show you, I'm using my little saw here. I love using this little miter saw, compound saw, whatever you call this thing. Anyhow, I am going to use another scrap piece, and I'm going to measure, I think I used 6 total 1-inch strips. So I measured a bunch on this one piece, but then I didn't like, because it was getting kind of small, so I actually grabbed another piece and cut a couple out of it. So safety first, guys. Make sure you've got some safety glasses on. I've actually got my actual reading glasses on to protect my eyes, but just safety first, and be careful. Take your time with your tools. Never reach your hand up under that blade while it's running, so that's why I was using a piece of wood to kind of knock it out of the way. So with my two pieces that I had cut and sanded, and I had a hard time getting the wood glue out this time. I don't know what I was doing, but I'm going to take two edges and I'm going to secure the piece together. So it's going to look like it's going to be one side, but it's going to have the two pieces of board to it. So I'm going to glue them, and then I'm going to flip it to the back side. Why come I just didn't have the back? I don't know. Anyhow, the side that's your back, just flip it, and then one piece of the little 1-inch strip that I cut, I'm going to kind of center it up top so that I can hang a, put a bracket on it. Y'all see Balt? Yeah, he likes to visit me. So I'm gonna eyeball center it, and then take my brad nailer and nail it down. And then the other ones, because I want it to lay flat, and I kind of felt like if I kept going down the center that it would pull them inward, if that makes sense. So I am going to like offset those. So I'll put one off to the left, one off to the right, and it did work. So my piece is laying flat. And you'll see me here in a second. See, that's all my little pieces. And then, see if that makes sense now? They're off-centered. That's just for support to it. But so you can hang this or you can prop this up against something, but we're going to make a cute little sign. And still had a couple of little pieces of the fence pickets left. So you got more for other crafts. So I'm just going to nail all of these. I don't know where I went. Where did I go? I don't know. And you can see I've got them finished now. And so, and everything has already been sanded. I'm just going to let that dry up real good. I just made sure that I kept pushing it together. I set that aside to let it dry. I did let it dry overnight. And then I picked out more of a red oak. Maybe that's what it was. But anyhow, some more stain I had on hand. I have all stains, all colors on hand. But and here I am with my little sock method again. That I promise you it works, and I'm reusing the same sock. So see, it still works. And then just put a good coat on it, and then let that dry. And I think I let that dry. I don't know if I let it dry overnight. It was a pretty day, this day that I was outside, and we had a little bit of wind, so it might have just taken a couple of hours. But just let it dry good. You don't want it tacky, because we're going to stencil on it. So, and you can see me here working in, and see that sock, I really could get into that crevice. So here we are with our finished piece. And I'm going to take this cute little pig from the farm collection stencils, again from Temu. And I'm going to take my black chalk paint and just eyeball where I want it at. And then I'm just going to stencil this adorable little pig. Now, because the stain is darker, he didn't show. He shows up nice, what I like, but if you wanted him to pop even more, of course you'd need to use a lighter stain, or maybe even use a white for him. But he does show up. The lighting doesn't give it justice. You could see here, that's a little better lighting, but here he is finished. And it does say Farm Life off to the side, but he's so cute. These are pieces you can be proud of that you made. Okay, our last project is I got this. This is a deck spindle. So I got that out of the decking supplies from Lowe's. And I cut it down to, I had already used one. I didn't film that to show that to you guys, but I cut it a little bit longer, so this one I'm cutting a little bit shorter. And so what I did was just use the saw to cut where that first little groove was at. And then I got a round piece of wood and a square piece of wood. These came from Hobby Lobby. So these are going to be each of my ends. After I've sanded everything down real good, I'm going to eyeball the best I can for the center and then use my brad nailer to pop some nails in there. Now I did not use wood glue, but you can certainly use wood glue. It would be a definite permanent hold for that, but I didn't. So I'm just eyeballing everything real good, and then I am nailing this down. Then I'm going to come in with my white chalk paint and give it just one coat. And it doesn't have to be an even coat. You could let some of the wood show through if you wanted to, but I'm just going to do one coat. Now this is Dixie Belle. I've bought a couple of Dixie Belle products here lately, and I really am liking it. My other chalk paints are folk art. A lot of people use that Waverly. I guess I could order it online, but it's not anywhere local where I've seen it to buy out the store. So this Dixie Belle, I've gotten it from an antique shop in town, and I think this is called Cotton, this color. So I'm just going to give it one coat. And then I'm going to come back with my black chalk paint after that has dried. And I'm going to give it an aged, distressed look because these are all farmhouse projects. So I just want to age it up some. Up, down. I just want to age it some. Let's just put it that way. And this is a simple way to make some really nice, and this project's not hard. So I would rank this project as easy as far as using your power tools. I wouldn't say this is hard at all. But this is a nice, easy way to make you some beautiful candle holders. They're so expensive in the stores, and then you can make this to your liking. You know, if you wanted to spray paint it, you could gold or black or white, or use the chalk paint. But look how beautiful these are. See, I did the one earlier, and I used part of that that solid piece, that square piece. I left part of that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. We will be making some more DIY woodworking projects, so continue to watch me. I thank you. Bye bye.